Well, hey guys, and welcome to Inspirations for Your Life. It's great to be with you on the fourth day of January. That means that we are now celebrating being on the air 4 years in a row, and we're in our fifth year on our fourth day. So, really great to be here, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Again, happy, healthy, prosperous, abundant, amazing new year to all of you wonderful people out there. If this is your first time joining me, I want to say welcome. And of course, I want to say thank you. If you're coming back, I want to say welcome back. And thank you so much for coming back. I really do appreciate people that find value in the content that I produce and share. All right, guys. So if you haven't checked out believemeachieve.com, what are you waiting for? Go check that out as soon as the show is over. You can go to believemeachieve.com. You can get my short form content, get my long form content. It's a great place to go. You can get articles and so much more, but do that after the show. If you guys are thirsty, parched, or a little bit hungry, feel free to go grab, yes, a snack. Grab yourself a snack. I think you will definitely appreciate that. So definitely go ahead and do that. All right. All right, guys. I think the most important thing I want to share with you guys again is that we're in 2026. And I made a commitment in 2026. For those of you that don't know, I made a lot of commitments, but one of them is I started my book, which is actually commencing on Monday. I'm not going to tell you the title yet. That's kind of under wraps. So what I'm doing is I'm doing an outline every day, and then I'm writing the other day. So it's going to take me maybe a year, maybe a little bit less. The book's only going to be about 150 pages, but I'm doing other stuff too. But at least I have a format for doing this. So I'm really grateful for that, guys. Thank you so much. So without any further ado, guys, let's go ahead and kick this show off. All right, guys. So Sunday nights aren't for beating yourself up. Nope. They're for grounding yourself, learning gently, and stepping into Monday, right, with more grace than guilt. This is the Inspirations for Your Show. It's the daily motivational show that helps you think sharper, feel stronger, and live more deliberately every single day. Now, one of the things I told you I was going to share was one of my goals for 2026. I am no longer going to allow people that are rude or disrespectful in my life. It doesn't happen that often. But if I get those people, I'm no longer going to suck up to them and try to be nice. I'm just going to say the words goodbye, or I'm just going to leave, because I've decided I need to treat myself better. I mean, I treat myself pretty well, but sometimes I found myself trying to be over nice even when somebody's being rude. And there's no need for that. There's no reason for that behavior. So you're here, guys, with myself, John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur, engineer, marketing specialist, video producer, podcast host, coach, graduate student, and yes, of course, a passionate lifelong learner. And someone who knows what it's like to carry a full week and still want to grow from it, not just recover from it. I think that's an important thing. And a lot of people don't necessarily understand what I mean by that, but I'm hoping you will. There's a lot of people that say they're going to do stuff. A lot of people say they're going to help you, but then you know what happens? They get busy. They don't help you. So I don't hold it against them. But I just know that I have to be good to myself. And I think that's a very, very important thing to realize. So, again, I just want to say welcome, everyone. Thank you so very much for deciding to be here. It means a lot to me that you guys are here. So, let's kick this off. Today's episode is called Sunday Reset and Reflect. Yeah, because it's Sunday. We are basically on, ladies and gentlemen. This is series 5. It's show number 2, and it's episode number 2. And together, we're going to gently review, release, and reset. So you start the week grounded, not in that guilty feeling. You know what I mean? Number 1, guys, a heavy week does not mean a failed week. I think that's important for a lot of people to understand, because sometimes people are under a lot of stress and tension, and I get that, right? So if this week felt, I don't know, I'm going to say maybe a little bit heavy for you, It doesn't mean you did anything wrong. It just means you were human in a real demanding world. Let today be the moment you separate weight from worth and choose to see effort, not just outcomes. Number two, pick one thing that helps you this week. Keep it intentionally. That's important, guys. And we keep it intentional, a lot can happen. Now, I had somebody else actually before ask me to do something. Now, normally I'm the John that always says yes, 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 but I'm following my own advice now. And I realized what they wanted me to do, and I had the skills, but I said, you know what? Right now, I just don't have the bandwidth for it. My studies are picking up, and I have other things I'm doing. So that's not something I really have the time for. Well, we'll talk later then about it. No, it's not going to change. It's only going to get worse because I'm going to get busier. And I think sometimes you have to say no to people. Think of one habit, one mindset, or one tiny choice that made things, well, even a little easier. Okay? Decide right now that it doesn't happen by accident. Next week, you carry it forward on purpose, don't you? Number three, pick one thing that drains you. Don't pack it for next week. There was something, a task, a person, a pattern that quietly, well, let's say, exhausted you in some way. Name it, thank it for the lesson, and make a simple plan to reduce or remove it from your upcoming week. So, one thing I did is I protected my energy. Normally, John would have said, sure, I'll do that. I'll be happy to do that. But then not realizing that I'm taking from my own cup. So I'm being more mindful of the choices that I make in 2026. People are like, oh, well, we'll talk about it later when you're ready. No, we're not going to talk about it later because it's just going to become more busy. And I think that's important to understand. And people have to realize they can't just count on you for everything. Number four, rest is a result and it's a requirement. You don't earn rest by doing enough. You need rest so you can keep doing anything at all. Give yourself permission tonight to see rest as part of the work, not a reward, but really perfection. All right. Number five, give this upcoming week a title. What did it quietly teach you? If this week were a chapter in your story, what would you call it? So this was an interesting week, right? Because this last week, even though we're starting a new week in our master series, right? We started on Saturday. The last week was a very interesting week because we had the kickoff of a new year, right? December 31st going into January 1st, right? 2026. I think what I learned this year is that, or this week, I should say, is that I have to stick to my guns. If I want to do something, I have to do it. Other people might try to talk me out of it, but I need to still stick to my guns. That's the most important thing. And I can't feel guilty because I say no to people. That's important. So I think I'm going to call this week, John doesn't feel guilty anymore. I don't. Naming it turns the random days into meaning and helps you see the lesson instead of just the frustration. Because the old John would have been like, oh, sure, I'll do it. Yeah, what's one more thing on my plate? Heck, why not? And this goes for a lot of things, guys. It's not just about you know, business. It's about personal things you help people with. It's even about things that I do for charities and other religious organizations. That doesn't say I demean them or I degrade them. It just means that I have to know when to say no. I have to realize that I can't keep giving every moment of my time. Number 6, guys. Celebrate one win nobody saw but you. Think of a moment you could have quit, snapped, or maybe shut down, but you didn't. You honored that invisible victory because the quiet wins build the strongest version of you. Number 7, you're allowed to be proud of survival seasons. Number 7, Some weeks are not about thriving, guys. They're about getting through. Let yourself be proud that you made it, even if it wasn't pretty or Instagram ready, right? You got through the week. And I think that's an important thing. When we can get through the week and we can understand and we can learn from the week, that's probably the biggest thing. Number 8, replace I should have with next time I will. See, that's another important thing. Don't harp on the fact that you didn't do something. Well, next time I'm going to do this. Okay. My example was every time in the past, I would always say yes to people. So I made a decision before the new year that next time when something comes up, I'm going to first see, does it deplete my own personal cup? And if it does, I'm going to say no and not feel guilty about it. Every should have keeps you stuck in yesterday. Shift the language to next time. I will, and instantly turn regret into a plan. There's no need to let it entrap you. Ask number 9, what do I want more of next week? Schedule one tiny action instead of trying to redesign your entire life. Pick one feeling, calmness, focus, fun, and put a tiny concrete action on your calendar that supports it. So one thing was the book, right? So I put some tiny actions on my calendar to start getting my book going. Another thing is I wanted to get some business in some different areas that I haven't tapped before. And so I started with some ideas. They haven't gotten put on my calendar yet, but they will by tomorrow. And so I think when we can step back and when we can say, wow, look at what we did, that's amazing. We have to show up for ourselves, even other people don't. And you might say to me, John, but if people don't support you, how can you support yourself? You can support yourself. I'm telling you this right now. You can support yourself because you know that you're worthy. You know that you're a good person. Number 10, you don't owe anyone a highlight reel of your week. Nope. I don't need to tell people why I can't do something. It's my business. Your week doesn't need to look impressive to be valuable. Release the pressure to package your life for others and let yourself simply live it. Yeah, there's a very interesting concept. Why don't we actually try that? Number 11, your nervous system deserves a Sunday reset, not just your calendar. It's not just about planning tasks. It's about calming your entire body. Breathe, stretch, walk, or sit in quiet. Let your nervous system know it's safe to slow down. Number 12, guys, forgive yourself for one thing from this week. Maybe what I forgive myself for right now is the fact that I've been wanting to start the book, but I didn't. So I'm kind to myself. I forgave myself and said, look, next time, this is the time I'm doing something. Maybe I forgave myself for some other things. And you feel good about that, okay? And say them out loud, okay? You could pick one mistake or a few, one moment, one reaction, and offer yourself, well, real forgiveness. Speak it. I forgive myself for procrastinating and not starting this book until this coming Monday. And I feel a big weight lifted on my head or mind. I forgive myself for always saying yes to people and depleting my own cup so that when I need to do something, I've been coming second. But in 2026, I'm going to make sure I come first. That doesn't mean I'm going to be selfish. It means that I'm going to take care of myself. That's important to know. Don't burn out. Number 13, you are not your worst moment from the last 7 days. Nope, you're not. Maybe you snapped, procrastinated, or shut down like I did with the book. That moment is part of your week. It's not the definition of your identity. I think that becomes hard for some people that, we feel that if we just because, we didn't accomplish something, that's who we are. It's not who we are. It's just the moment in time. Number 14, write a 2-sentence note to your future self about this week's lesson. Grab a notebook or your phone and send a short message to the one person, you, who will forget how strong you were. Capture the lesson while it's fresh. Number 15, let one expectation from others expire tonight. There's at least one expectation someone has of you that no longer fits the season you're in. Let's name one. I think it's the big one is, oh, John will jump in and do it. He always does and has in the past. Well, John's not going to jump in and just do everything anymore. John's going to be more discerning in the time that he decides to give out. You're allowed, guys, to quietly lay it down and choose what truly is sustainable for you. There's nothing wrong with that. You can close a week without closing your heart. You don't have to shut down emotionally. Nope. To move on, you can release the week and still stay open to connection, joy, and growth. All right. Number 17, grieve what you didn't get done. It's okay. You can grieve it and you can move on. Next time you'll get it done. Appreciate what you did get through. Let yourself feel the disappointment of unfinished tasks. Then pivot to gratitude for the storms you did walk through. Both emotions can coexist at the same time. A lot of people think they can't, but they can. Number 18, not every week needs a comeback story. Some just need closure. You don't have to turn every hard week into a dramatic transformation. Nope. Sometimes the most powerful move is simply saying, that's enough for now. I'm done. Number 19, ask yourself what worked that I've never given myself credit for. I think that's a big one. I need to give myself credit for more things. Being a podcast host, being in graduate school, being a marketing professional, being a video producer, I need to give myself credit. Scan your week for something you handled well, but you brushed it off. Give that version of you a moment in the spotlight and say, hey, you really did a great job. Number 20, you're allowed to want an easier week and be grateful for this one. Hope for better does not cancel gratitude for what you survived. You can be thankful and desire gentler days. Nothing wrong with that. One boundary you'll honor more fiercely. Starting tomorrow, well, I think I told you the one. The one is being mindful of the people that try to manipulate me, not intentionally, but they try to get to my good side. I guess that part's intentional. To get me to do something for them. Because they know I can. And I said before, just because I can doesn't mean I should. Choose a line you won't cross as easily this week. Maybe it's saying no after a certain hour or not checking messages during dinner. One no that I decided to do in 2026, so I run a few groups and organizations. I decided that I'm no longer going to post this one group fiercely on Facebook. I'm still going to post it on our group page and our website, but I'm not going to go posting on all these other boards because I found, number one, it tired me out. And number two, I didn't get people that were appreciating my message. Now, this isn't about the show or anything like that. It's about another organization that I run. So I realized that I need to be more careful and discerning about where I put the message out, who I invite to the group. Protect your energy like it matters because it does. You know, no one's going to tell you to protect your energy. They're just going to tell you to keep going and going and going, like, you know, the Energizer bunny, right? But the Energizer bunny, when it runs out, you can give it more batteries. When you run out, well, that could either be a health issue or it could be a need for you to just crash and get some rest. We can't just put batteries back in ourselves and start to, hitting the drum. It doesn't work like that, right? Number 22, You're not starting over. Monday, you're starting from experience. Next week is not a reset to zero. Nope. You're walking in with more wisdom, more data, and more self awareness than you had 7 days ago. That's pretty cool. Think about ending the week with compassion, not a performance review. Tonight is not about grading yourself, it's about choosing kindness over criticism and recognizing that you did the best you could with what you had. And I think that's something in the past that I haven't done a lot. I have not praised myself a lot in the past. And I think I need to do that more. I need to show myself some self compassion. Number 24, let today be a soft landing, not a scramble. Resist the urge to cram everything into Sunday night, that is. Land softly, give your mind and body a gentle glide into the new week. It'll be much easier for you if you're gentler with your body and your mind. Number 25, your identity is not tied to how much you crossed off. Although a lot of people think it is not about that, okay? A short to-do list does not mean a small life. You are more than tasks, metrics, or checkboxes. That's important. Number 26, thank this version of you, the one that you're with right now, for getting you here through this week. Close your eyes for a second and say the words, thank you, to the you who carried every responsibility, feeling, and challenge of this week. Now, I'm going to give you another example. So there's some other organizations that I've worked with. There's been a couple that have been very, how can I say, cliquey. And they've been political. And I've also decided if I'm going to get that type of reaction, I'm not going to be nasty, but I'm just going to choose to let them move aside. And I'll take a different direction. People that don't show me appreciation, whether it's intentional or not, they're really not people I want in my life. I just got to be honest with you. And there's no need to badger myself or punish myself. Appreciation is fuel. And that fuel empowers me to want to do more. Do you know there was somebody this past few days, I wished them a happy new year. Okay. And I was looking back just right now. It was actually on LinkedIn. And I was looking back on my LinkedIn. And I remember somebody saying to me, I think I said to them, wish you a happy, healthy, prosperous, amazing New Year, blessed New Year. And I got to thank you. Okay, thank you. I did not get Happy New Year back. I got messaged with something, a random question, asking about one of my skills. And I let them know that I appreciate the opportunity, but right now, that's not something I really want to have the bandwidth for. Does that make sense? I hope so. But I learned that the response I got from that person, and I'm just kind of looking back at it now as I'm talking to you, so I can give you the exact without giving the person's name because that's not really fair. They asked me to do something, and I said I appreciate the offer, but I'm gonna say no. I'm swamped with school this semester and other things. I'm still happy to do X and Y and Z, but I really just don't have any bandwidth to take another committee, to be quite honest. They wanted me to be on a committee. Understood. We can talk more when things calm down. Okay. Person then reiterates this would be a great group for you. Then they asked me to do something else. And then I said to them, Still no on the first thing, but the second thing is a possibility. But I don't think things will be coming down, to be honest, about the other things. I'm sorry, but I don't need to say I'm sorry, but I did say that. I just don't have the bandwidth. And I don't need to apologize anymore. I think I was still apologizing. I don't need to do that. Don't need to apologize. Number 27, set one gentle intention, not 10 aggressive demands. Choose a single kind, focus for the week ahead, like move with patience or protect my peace, and let that guide your choices. Number 28, ask what would make next week 5% kinder to me. Do that. You don't need a total overhaul. You need a small shift. One tiny kinder choice can change the tone of the entire week. I think that's something that's pretty amazing. All right. We don't need to move buildings. Okay. All we need to do is maybe open a few windows or close a few doors. Get my point? Or maybe hang a picture. Number 29, you did enough for who you were this week. With your energy, your circumstances, and what you went through, your emotions, you did what you could do. Honor that truth instead of chasing an imaginary perfect version of you. The perfect version does not exist. So let's think about that right now. Okay. Think about that right now. Okay. I hope that means something to you. Close the week with one deep breath. Number 30. I like to do the one I told you about, which was the doing the 4-2-6. For 4, hold for 2, exhale for 6. Do it again. Inhale for 4, hold for 2, exhale for 6. One more time. Inhale for 4, hold for 2, exhale for 6. This says I'm still here, guys. I'm still trying. And right now, take that breath with me as I did. Do it again. In through the nose, as I said, and out through the mouth like I did with the count that I gave you. Feel the pride in simply being here, still willing to grow. This has been the Sunday Reset and Reflect on inspirations for your life. Be sure, ladies and gentlemen, to check out BelieveMeAchieve.com for more of my motivational creations. The show that helps you elevate your mindset, unlock your purpose, and lead your life on true intention, not by accident. Have a great one, everyone. I'll catch you real soon. Be well, everyone.